Welcome to the Get Tailored podcast. Join us as we explore insightful conversations on professional organizing, tackling both internal and external chaos, and discovering the transformative power of clarity and purpose in every aspect of life. If you're loving what you hear, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share our channel. Hey there, this is Get Tailored Podcast. I'm your host, Nicole Taylor. Thanks for joining us again. If you have a chance, please subscribe, like, share our content if you're interested, if you like it, if it resonates. The more the merrier. This is a conversation I hope that will, ring a bell for people. So anyway, I am here to introduce to you Anita from LaBlanc Cleaning. She has a cleaning business here in Mesa. And Anita, I would love to have you kind of take the reins here, but kind of tell me a little bit about yourself and kind of like from, how far back you want to go to, I kind of love to hear a little bit about your upbringing and kind of what you're doing now.
Okay, you asked for it. And by the way, thank you so much for having me here. Absolutely. I'm so excited to do this.
Thanks for coming.
Really, really grateful to be here. So I'm going to start off with, we own a cleaning company, my husband and I, and just took, I was thinking about this, and cleaning has always been a part of me, starting from when I was the age of, I'm going to say 4 or 5 years old.
Yeah.
You don't see very many 4 or 5-year-olds cleaning. But I grew up at a very young age. I lived in a couple different orphanages in Bogota, Colombia. And I do remember in the orphanage there, when all the other kids would be playing, I was sometimes in the kitchen helping clean or peel potatoes. I always kind of hung out with the people that owned the orphanage. And so cleaning had kind of started way back then. And then my parents adopted 8 of us. 4 of us that are biological siblings, and then 4 others that are from different separate families, and brought us to Minnesota, to the U.S.
Oh, cool.
When I was 6.5. And so this didn't happen my mom told me that within the first week of, when I was in the U.S., I was going around and I was looking for things to clean, and I was trying to help her. And she's like, no, go play. I want you to go play. And of course me trying to help her clean only lasted for about a week, but that was what, what I knew to do. And so growing up in a big family on a farm in Minnesota, we've got 8 children. They had 3 of their own, and then my parents, so we've got 13 people. Oh. Do the numbers right? Yeah. And so we had a big house, and a farmhouse, you have to keep it maintained. And so
for sure,
Saturday mornings, when other kids were watching cartoons, we were not watching cartoons. I mean, I didn't like it at the time, but now I'm so grateful that I grew up like that. Because my mom, my parents being older, and they were both born in the mid-1930s, so a different generation.
For sure.
Where you kept everything. If you had old T-shirts, you kept them and cut them up and made them into cleaning rags. And so we did we're cleaning and dusting, and basically we'd mop the floors on our hands and knees. My mom would always tell me, you can always tell the level of cleaning that someone does and how clean their home is by the corners where the walls meet the corners of the rooms, and how much debris and, whatever you might have in there. So there's just things in the cleaning realm that I always remembered from when my mom taught us how to clean. So, and I don't remember using a mop really.
Were you on your hands and knees, just kind of?
We had linoleum
elbow
floor.
Grease getting in there.
Yep, we were on our hands and knees. We were doing the brushing. We were using a brush on it.
Yeah. I
So.
remember when I started cleaning, before I started implementing the organizing part, I was thorough as heck. Like I would go down and I would get in the corners and I would elbow grease it and get those, what do they call those type of steel? I think they're made out of steel. The steel, sponges.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. We don't do those, but I know what you're talking about.
But
those
they're hardcore
really
to get grease and nasty stuff. So anyway, go. Sorry.
But even nowadays, in our company, we have a monthly huddle, and we're always talking about how we can improve on our process, how we can improve on our quality. And one of the things I came up recently was, okay, so they know that I call them my kids, but my employees.
My kids, I love
that's
it.
what I call them. We're such a tight family.
Sure.
And they were sharing with me, as when we clean mirrors, we're having a hard time with some mirrors that hold on to fuzz.
Yeah.
And little bits of lint.
Yeah.
And then I was like thinking back, okay, what did my mom teach me? Yeah. Oh, that's right. We cleaned we did our deep spring cleaning of the windows with newspaper and vinegar water. And I was like, newspaper, it's paper. So clean the mirrors with a towel and go over it with paper, and that will remove the fuzzies from the mirrors. So, but anyway, that's diving way back to, where I really did come from and coming into the U.S. Did I grow up thinking I'm going to start a cleaning company? No, I don't think anybody does that. It just happened kind of organically. I mean, I think maybe some people do decide to go into business, but not for me. I was actually an independent contractor for Open Door. They're a startup at that time. I mean, this was so we've been in business 2017 February. This last February will be 8 years. So it was 9 years ago 10 years ago I was working for Open Door and doing final walkthroughs prior to the closing of the homes and putting up marketing signage and just going in and doing checkups and some light cleaning.
Yeah.
And what I also was doing is QCing work orders for the contractors. And at the end of when a contractor is given a job or a house to fix up or do whatever renovations they're going to do, they'll do the work. And then the last thing they're responsible for is providing the cleaning. Gotcha. And so the contractors were doing their own cleaning or having maybe people come in and do, help them. But they certainly really weren't cleaners. What I was finding in these homes were subpar cleaning, in my opinion. And so
you had higher standards.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was like there shouldn't be macaroni behind the pantry door. Like if you clean this house, there shouldn't be rice,
That's what the client's thinking.
Yeah, so like I was finding all these things and saying, these houses aren't clean.
Sure.
And then at that time, my schedule with Open Door kind of slowed down a little bit. It was that time of the year, whatever was going on. And then that contracting company said, well, we have houses that we need cleaned right now. And I'm like, I have some time on my hands. So they gave me properties to clean. The first one I ever did was with my husband, Brian. We cleaned a couple properties together.
Hi, Brian.
Yeah, that was fun. And then I did a couple with my sister. And then my schedule with Open Door picked up again. However, the contracting company kept giving me properties to clean. And I was, oh my gosh, like I don't have time. Yeah, so we literally put an ad on Craigslist and found an independent contractor who cleaned with a cleaning background. And she came in and she started doing properties for us. And oh my goodness, I mean, we didn't have systems back then. I was not a cleaning company. I was just like, I know how to clean the house.
Clean. Yeah, exactly.
Must mean everybody else can clean the house. Not necessarily the case, but but yeah, oh my gosh. Back in those days, I was having her clean. Her name was Josie. She was cleaning all my properties, and I would go at the end of the day and go to her bank and deposit her paycheck and deposit money for her.
Oh wow!
Live and learn. I mean, clearly that's not the case anymore. But anyway, long story short, now we are a vendor for Open Door. So
that's cool.
Yeah, and so that's kind of where I came from, and how my cleaning knowledge, took place or took off.
Yeah. Well, I have a couple questions before we get into the end of like kind of where you are now, or you kind of tapped into that a little bit, but what your mission is, where you're going. I really want to kind of get to that, but I have a couple questions before we kind of get into like the deeper stuff at the end of this. But well, first of all, you clean for me. I'm going to be honest. She's amazing. We had her come and do a deep clean at my house, and with her and one other person on her team. Phenomenal job. We did like from top to bottom. All the fans were dusted. All the things were clean. It was just phenomenal. And this house has not been cleaned for a while. And so it really needed it. And
you're all busy organizing.
I'm too busy. It's like that, mechanic who has all these cars in the shop in their garage because he's too busy working on it. And everyone else is. So anyway, No, I'm still organized. I'm just not like perfect. Anyways, so I want to ask about your products. What kind of cleaning products do you use? I really love kind of when I first learned about you from a client, actually, I got to learn about you through a previous organizing client, and she was looking for a house cleaner, and she found you, and I was like, I need her number. So that's how we got.
And I got your number and your cards, and I've already given them out to a couple of people because
that's great.
This client is just a sweet lady, and she really used these words. You know, she told me, you wouldn't have recognized my house. You know, I had a professional organizer come in, and now you're here cleaning, but you wouldn't have really recognized my house. It was so different. And she said, Nicole, actually, she used the words, she saved my life. This is what she said about you. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's so amazing, you know.
I love that.
Yeah, and so and so that's how I learned about you. But our products, so I'm very, very passionate. I mean, we, you know, from the time that we started as hiring contractors and not having any systems or processes or anything like that,
Sure.
such major changes have happened. You know, we were back in the day, we were using maybe Mr. Clean and whatever products we found over the counter, maybe at Walmart or whatever.
Standard cleaning products that you would find at Walmart or Target.
And while we still use, you know, like your average, your magic erasers and your pumice stones and your detailing brushes and all that, you know, the product that I'm really passionate about that I love is most of our products that we use are from Melaleuca. Have you ever heard of Melaleuca?
Yes, I'm a member.
Yep.
I'm a member.
Great line of products. I mean, they have everything from cleaning products to laundry detergent to makeup.
Oh, they have
mascara on right now.
I use their line, their whole facial line, their cleaning products. So when I knew, so this is so cool how like the stars are aligned, right? So when you came into my life and my house, my world, and I noticed that you're like, yeah, I use Melaleuca. I was like, dude, look up there in my, you know, my well put together like laundry. This is where I put my cleaning stuff. Melaleuca. I was like, heck yeah, girl, let's go.
It's really good stuff.
That was awesome.
What I love about it is, you know, if you look up on their website, they have, you know, all the product info for every product, and their Tough and Tender is what we like our all-purpose cleaner that we would spray maybe on our towel to clean this table here, to wipe off the fake, you know, the leaves on here or anything. We mix that in with water, Dawn dish soap, the Tough and Tender, and then we add the lemon and lavender essential oil to that magic spray.
Oh my god!
Not only does it doesn't have harsh chemicals, bleach, ammonia, stuff like that.
I hate cleaning with bleach.
Smells amazing.
I hate the smell of bleach.
Yeah,
like it gets stuck up in my nostrils. Ugh.
Yeah,
like,
I used to go home. Oh my gosh, I remember going home after, you know, we used to do hundreds of move-outs. So way before we started our...
And it's not good for you to clean, like, to smell that constantly.
Before we started our residential maid service, what we were doing, a majority of were move-outs and post-construction cleans. So I would go home and I would feel at the end of the day like I had a layer of bleach in my throat. You're breathing that in and all the other stuff that we are using. So what I like about what we're doing now is there's no harsh chemicals. It smells fantastic. It works.
Good for the environment.
And it's effective.
And and it actually works. It's not just like, let's just, you know, put this on it and see if it lasts. But no, like I remember coming into my house right after you guys were done, and I'm like,
give me more.
Smells so good in here. Like,
it's just
amazing.
I
love this. Yeah, the smells that you guys add the essential oils, which I'm a huge fan of essential oils. So I really love that about it. Just like
and for people out there who are like, okay, I can't, because what I have found out is there are a lot of people who are allergic to lavender, and so what I do before we go into people's homes and start a recurring service, I will always go in, like all of our clients, I go in and I meet them. They're vetting me as much as I'm vetting them. We're not everybody's cleaning company, and not everybody's our client.
Absolutely.
And so I go in and I explain this. So I tell everybody what we use in our products, and then that people get the opportunity to tell me, like, okay, I can't handle lavender, I don't like it.
Sure.
Or, you know, don't use whatever.
Some people are very sensitive. They have allergies. You got to be really careful about what products you put in the home. Like, so that's really really thoughtful of you to be like mindful of that. Because a lot of people are like, oh, I can't use this product because I'm allergic, or this smell bothers me or whatnot. So that's really cool. a couple other things before we dive into the other piece of it is, and I don't know where it went. Where did it go? Where did it go?
We'll find it.
We'll find it. It'll come back. It'll come back. But like, so cleaning is your thing, right? So like you have a knack for it. You pay attention to detail. And I think maybe that's a lack in when you hire a cleaning company to come in is the clients and the people who are paying for the service. So like this, this is probably a common theme for you. And correct me if I'm wrong, that they always see what you didn't do, right? They're always looking for that
absolutely right.
little cobweb in the corner. No one can see it, but I can now.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So like, how do you take criticism? How do you handle that? And to me, you are just knowing you and having the experience of my house being cleaned by you. I mean, you're pretty flawless. So like, how do you maintain that type of perfection?
Well, everybody has to learn to and be able to take criticism. You're always going to have areas in any endeavor in life where you might maybe, have a fail. Maybe you fail. So you have to have that tough skin. But
Sure.
It's actually a little bit more than that. It's a lot of the pre-planning that goes into our service before we even start our service. So what I have found so that we minimize these instances where a client, maybe we clean the entire 3,000 square foot house and everything in it to a T, but we missed one or two things. They are going to notice the one or two things that you missed versus the 10,000 things that you did
perfect,
fabulously. Yeah. And so that's just, and I know that, and actually knowing is half the battle, right? And so knowing that is okay. So now we come up with a plan. And so it's in my experience, it's very, very, very important that a meeting with a client, like I told you, like I do before we start a recurring service, I feel that it's extremely important to let the client needs to know exactly what you're going to do and exactly what you're not going to do.
Yes.
This is not within our cleaning realm, So for us would be, we don't do dishes, we don't do laundry, we don't take apart wet bars, You
don't do windows. Some windows you do.
We don't do babysitting.
Yeah, we don't.
Funny
we don't
story, but that
pet
happened
sit.
actually.
We're not a pet sitting company. I'm not here to wash your floors and pet sit, okay?
Yeah.
You got to be very
and you would
upfront with people. Isn't that funny?
And you think that's a given, but
yeah, you would
isn't.
think. You're like, okay, it doesn't say pet sitting, cleaning, organizing, maid service, of all the things.
Babysitting.
I'm going to go ahead and keep my 3-year-old here. I'm going to go ahead and run errands while you're cleaning. Has that ever happened to you?
Full disclosure has happened, and so that's why I bring it up.
Oh my gosh, people.
So, yeah, and so it's really important. The communication has to be there, and I think that
100%.
I think areas where people have fallen short and where there have been discrepancies between a client and a cleaning company, in my experience, it all has come down to lack of communication lack of communication.
I'm glad that you said that because I find that if there isn't thorough communication with anyone you do business with, whether they're a client, they work with you, or in relationships or anything, communication is so key because I like to use it as like I have a web of a brain. Women tend to have like multiple thoughts happening all at the same time, all at once, like
everybody does.
Yeah. And then men have a more tendency to think at one thing at a time and focus better, right? They're more focus driven. Women are like, well, I'm going to do this at the same time as this, and I'm going to do that. And then, so like, it's so funny how like communication, when it comes to very simple, you would think it's simplistic, like, okay, this is what we do, the one thing. And when that gets kind of deterred, it's when you're trying to make something that it's not. It's like, I want this plant here to become my coffee cup, but like I would have to take it out. I would have to go and fill it. Like it's not what it's meant to be. Mm-hmm. So I feel like that's what happens when higher expectations, and you have to be like, listen, we don't do that. This is what we do. This is the only thing we do. And if this is not going to be for you, then that's okay too.
Mm-hmm.
So,
for a few years, we were doing water damage restoration, like odor remediation. We were doing carpet cleaning. We were doing pressure washing of people's driveways.
Dang.
We were doing it all. We still have we're just not offering any of those services. So instead of being good to mediocre to good at 100 different things, let's just be really good at this one thing. And I'm like, thank you. That is taking, and that actually just gave me a lot of peace of mind too.
Yeah.
It
simplifies things.
Simplify things.
Right?
Yeah.
It just, it's almost like decluttering. It's like, okay, if I take out all of these things and just have certain pieces in this room, like if this room was filled with other stuff, you wouldn't be able to see us, and we're the vocal point. So if you do that in any type of service you're providing or any type of business you want to develop, I always say one is better than all and one is better than none. But if you have everything you're focused on at the same time, you're not going to be able to do that one thing and do it really well.
Yeah.
So I do love that. Real quick, go back to your process. So like if someone wanted to use your services, kind of explain just quickly how to go about doing that.
Okay. So our main wheelhouse, so what we offer, kind of going to parlay into that, maybe where we are right now and what we offer. So our main wheelhouse, our baby, is a residential maid service where we go into occupied homes and offer a weekly, bi-weekly, or every 4 weeks monthly service.
Okay.
And so we do that. We are also offering, and we service all of the East Valley. So anything east of the I-17, so North Scottsdale, Fountain Hills, any of the East Valley cities, okay?
Great.
And where am I going with that? So we do, not only do we offer residential, and I'm not sure that that's an actual term. I think my husband made it up, where it means we're cleaning residential homes.
I love made up words, so please.
Residential. We clean residential homes for commercial properties. So again, we're talking about your open doors, your invitation homes, your private residential. We've cleaned for all of them. So we maintain homes for them that are live on the market, out, like some are rentals, some are homes for sale.
Sure.
And then we also do like one-time services where people call us, builders. A lot of builders will call us to do post-construction cleans. They've just gone in and built a home, or they've done a bunch of renovations for somebody, and now they're calling us in to go in and do this 5-star final phase cleanup. Because in post-construction, there's 3 phases, just like with the organizing.
We have 3 phases in the organization.
Yeah, and the final one is the Big Daddy Mac, where it's making it move-in ready, show ready, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
And then we have, so we do all that. The one-time services, the deep spring cleans that people do once a year. We have clients.
Oh, by the way, this is going to be aired on the spring equinox, everyone. Get ready for spring cleaning season.
It's time.
Woo!
Do it now.
Let's go.
Yep. So your one-time services, your, deep spring cleans. And then we offer, again, the residential. So the process would be like we have people go into our website and book their own proposal walks with me. And I do them every day. I have one today at 1 o'clock. So 11, 1, and 3 o'clock, I do my proposal walks. Or they can call, I've got people ready to answer the phone, and we book the proposal walk. I go out to their home and meet them. And my favorite part, what kind of leads into my end game here is meeting my clients. They're so precious to me, and meeting their pets, their dogs, their cats.
Baby kitties. You're going to hear me say that a lot because I love my cats. So I'm a cat person. I love dogs too.
I love cats too. I love animals.
Okay, so that's a good segue. I want to hear more about your passion. So let's dive into that. What is it about pets? Like, tell me, what's your end game? Like, what's that about?
I have such a huge passion and love for animals. And, maybe somebody's asked you, what's your favorite animal? I love elephants. I love otters. But my favorite kind of people are the dogs.
Yeah.
You're a man's best friend. I've got my 2 dogs. I don't know where this came from. I have a passion for them. I've found so many dogs throughout my life that I've helped home or found their owners. And so that's my favorite part of going and doing these proposal walks, and also with our cleaners too. Like, they're all dog lovers. So they all have dogs.
Yes.
And people always, like, are you okay with the dogs being around you? Are you cleaning? I can't think of a better setting for cleaning or a better scenario than, because I've actually been cleaning underneath an entertainment center like couple weeks ago with 3 dogs. Like, and people were like, how can you, it's fine. Like, I can't think, like I said, I love it. So
That's awesome.
my end game, my passion, what I hope to do someday is have enough money to open several dog rescue facilities throughout the U.S. and abroad.
Yeah.
And maybe even,
That's awesome.
have enough funding to put a little dent in the dog meat market in Asia, that's just a horrible thing. And we don't talk about that, but and then hopefully like I have a passion for people too. I love people. And hopefully maybe start some sort of an employment assistance program for homeless.
Yeah.
And I'm picturing this property with the rescue facility on it with tiny homes on the property where I'm going to have my employees live, right? These are the people that maybe we go find people that need a break in life, that just need a little bit of assistance to get there. And so
I love
there
that.
you have it.
That's amazing.
That's I wear my heart on my sleeve, and what you see is what you get.
Yeah. No, that's really beautiful. I'm so grateful to hear that passion and kind of your vision for the future. Because I feel like any entrepreneur or any like business owner who wants to start something and has a purpose and has a passion for something, and they start say where you are, and it's going to be morphing into something much bigger than themselves, I think is a huge appreciation that I have for you and what you're doing. So I had other questions, but we could be here all day, guys.
Yeah.
I
just want to say
yeah.
really quick.
Yes.
I think what you're doing and what I'm doing, they go together so well. And you're an inspiration to me. I know that, what drives you are really good, sincere things with integrity and peace of mind and all that.
Thank you.
And so I think, like delivering the quality service to people, and really we have people's best interests in mind.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
We appreciate each other and appreciate our employees and people. And to me, if that isn't the definition of an enlightened business,
exactly,
I think it is. I've always
love that.
Kind of driving for that.
Well, I'm glad that you said that because, a big reason why I wanted to bring you on today was to really showcase kind of our synchronicity, the syncing that we have together. That's probably not the right word, but anyway, like the cohesiveness. That's a good word. Of bringing our like-mindedness to the world, bringing it together, kind of showcasing it as one. Because we go and we deal with stuff, right, in people's homes, and that's life. Yeah, and so providing a service that we can kind of help alleviate some issues and kind of make it easier on people is essential. So Absolutely. Before we wrap up today, where can people find you? Where are you on the web? Like, do you have a website? Which, kind of give me.
So LaBlancCleaning.com.
Okay.
At our website. And you can find anything and everything on there on how to book, service. And if you want more information about our company, you can find us there.
Yes, I love it.
Here we are. We're approachable and we're available to the entire East Valley. So,
excellent. Thank you, Anita.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks again, guys, for joining us today. Please like, subscribe, share our content if you're interested. Again, we love being here. This is Get Tailored Podcast. I'll see you next time. If you're loving what you've heard today, be sure to hit the subscribe button, give us a like, and share this episode with your friends. We're here to bring you more valuable tips and inspiring stories, and we would love for you to be a part of our journey. Your support means the world to us. Let's keep the conversation going.